Hi, Will.
Hi.
Here we go. Will Keck, what's up, man?
What's up, Mike? How you doing, man?
All right. Music Shop.
Yeah.
What's going on with Music Shop, man?
Man, it's been a long journey, for real. It's been a multitude of things and shapes it's taken. But I think in the last year, we really found what the Music Shop is and what it's like, where we're headed with it for real. You know what I'm saying? I think we were able to get there by going through a lot of different things, failing at things, succeeding at things, to really find out, one, like what we want out of it and, you know, where we wanted to live. So if I had to say right now, like easily describe it in an elevator pitch, it's a creative agency and a record label. Which we just added the record label portion, just finished all the talks with the lawyer, getting the paperwork done for all that. So I think after all like the ups and downs through the journey, you know, we still believe in the core mission, which is we bring life to vision. And as we've really gotten involved with more artist development, more music creation, you know, being really hands-on with people like Alex and some of the other artists that we work with, I've learned that we left a lot on the table. You know what I'm saying? Not just money, but like just like possibilities. You know what I'm saying? Opportunities, and so that really, as me and Alex's relationship has developed in his music. We've been talking about this for like 2 years. How can we bring this all together? How can we make it something that's not just like cohesive, but something that's like impactful for both of our careers and something that will like actually help us sustain, you know, a life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is the first time really talking about it publicly, about it being, you know, about the record label, because we've been trying to get it done before we, you know, brought it to the world.
Yeah, I was shocked. You just told me something.
Yeah. So, you know, it's been a lot of learning, you know what I'm saying? Like we've had to really learn the music business through trials and tribulations, through, you know, leaving money on the table, through missed opportunities because we weren't set up correctly, you know what I'm saying? Whether that be the artist side or the infrastructure side, which is, you know, the label portion. So simple, creative agency, record label, more detailed. We just want to be able to help people as much as possible and keep creativity and business together. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let's get back to something you said.
Yeah.
You bring life to people's vision.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
That's a question with a lot of depth. I think at the core of it is like the collaboration, right? Of somebody bringing something to you that they have a passion about, that they're very excited about, and something they take very seriously at the same time. And us being able to say, okay, we see you and this is how we can make it happen. And me as like a creative director, project manager, being able to wear a lot of hats, but also being able to find the right people to help them bring that vision together. You know, a lot of people, they got great ideas. They have a lot of passion for those ideas, but they don't know who to talk to. They don't know who to trust.
Or how to execute them.
Yeah, or how to execute them. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, we feel confident and we feel passionate about that part of it.
All right, so you were talking about what Music Shop is now.
Yeah.
All right, that's the new version.
Yeah.
That's the current iteration.
Yeah, 5.0. Yeah.
What was it at 1.0?
Oh, a mess.
For the people who didn't know, for the people who weren't able to see it.
It was a lot, man. You know, when we first started, it was a blog, just plain and simple. During COVID, we had a group in, remember the app Clubhouse?
Yep.
Had a Virginia hip hop group. You were there.
I remember that.
You were there.
Yep.
You know, we get a couple hundred people coming in there every week. And, you know, at the end of it, we would always have that discussion. Like, what's missing? How can we help artists? You know, what do y'all feel like people need? And they were like, we need somebody to talk about us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I went to a bunch of people, at least 5, 6 different people. I said, you should do this. I see a gap in the market. And I think, you know, they already have blogs, or they already had like some type of establishment, like with kind of exposing people. And they all said no, they didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? They were busy with this, or they had this going on. So I rounded up a bunch of people that I know who were passionate about independent music, especially Virginia music, and we started the blog. You know, I already had the company, the OG Design, which was like the creative agency portion of it, but this was solely about exposure and really finding people that we liked and we wanted to elevate. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the original portion of it. But as that grew, we were shooting content for them. People were like, hey, can you do this for us? Can you help us with this? And we just kind of merged the two. You know what I'm saying? We took the OG Design, we put it onto the music shop, and it became a platform, you know, essentially. Right. And, you know, we've done, with that platform, we've been able to do so much more because we've used our in-house tools to kind of, you know, help artists in that sense. So the thing that kind of why it had to grow is because we just said yes to everything, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, we're over here doing this and we're over here doing that. And, you know, it became very stressful and it really didn't help us sustain a business. You know what I'm saying? It was like really just all passion, you know what I'm saying? All like, oh, we really love this. But at a point you get burnt out, and then really you look at what you're building and you don't have a definition for it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that could work, sure. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I always wanted to have something that people could define, you know what I'm saying? And people could go to and say, hey, they're great at this. They can handle this.
You were a jack of all trades, master of none.
Master of none, you know what I'm saying? So getting to this point from there has been several iterations of that, of being able to cut things away and keep the things that we love, but also learning of like what's working and what's not working. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? So as we've been able to do that though, you know, I really it's kind of metaphorical. The more that I've cut away, the more I've allowed myself to have. You know what I'm saying? So bigger opportunities came in once I got rid of the distractions. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. And that's kind of how we've gotten to this point right here.
So you were building this thing with no path.
No path.
So as you were
idea. It was an idea. That's it. Yeah.
As you were going along that path.
Yeah.
What did you see? Where did you see this road ending?
I think that's what was bothering me the most is I didn't know. You know, I really didn't understand where I was going. You know,
so you're just walking a blind path.
Yeah, I was just so excited about it. I was like, yo, people like what we're doing. You know, like, yes, I'll do your video, even though, you know, don't have any money to pay me, or yeah, I'll go drive up to DC to shoot this event, and I'll be, you know, and it's like, I got a wife, I got kids. Those are always like at the forefront of my priorities. But mostly, I just wanted things that I felt like I was proud of. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't always feel proud of the work because it was just so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't able to really dial in on quality control or really what we felt like the brand really meant to us. You know what I'm saying? Like that identity.
So what helps you focus in on it now?
I know what I want to do.
Okay.
I know what I'm capable of doing, and more importantly, because I've been able to carve this lane for the music shop, people will come to me for things that they know I'm good at. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. I get questions, hey, can you do this all the time? But I'm able to say no now with some confidence that like it's gonna be okay if I miss a little bit of this or I miss a little bit of that. You know, I don't have that fear of missing out. You know what I'm saying? That FOMO. So I think that helps. And then too, man, when you link with people who are serious about their craft and they're talented at their craft, it makes you want to level up too. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
One of the most important parts of putting together a thing.
Yeah.
Is making sure you have the right pieces in place. The right team.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your team. How did you put your team together?
Let me start here first. There's been a lot of great people that have been part of what the music shop has been like. So I don't want to discredit anybody that we may have started out with and we've ended up somewhere else. Like Prop in particular. I mean, she's not just a guide for my company. She's a moral compass for my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm lucky to have people like that in my corner, and that goes across the board. Like even you know what I'm saying? You're somebody I can call and say, hey, this is what I'm going through.
Yeah, I'm invoicing you at the end.
yeah.
I just want you to know that.
Yeah, so it's like I'm able to, like, those people are just as important to me as the stuff that we do in the work, because they help shape my mind and help me craft the business in a different light, right? Youth, who was there at the very beginning, and we were up to 2 or 3 in the morning at Center.
I remember.
Chopping down videos and pissing our wives off and, going home broke, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to try to get it off the ground. And, Justin, who helped us, and Curbs, who really helped us get the blog off the ground and wrote numerous articles for people with no money, you know what I'm saying? No pay, you know what I'm saying? Just a prayer that this thing would turn into something. So, I really want to thank those people and not forget about what that means to me. But really, man, I'm gonna tell you how the team got built.
Okay.
People just showed up, and they kept showing up. Hey, you need this done? I can do it. You know what I'm saying? You need this done? I can do it. Even when they didn't know how to do it, they figured it out, and they helped take pressure off of me, and I was able to trust them with delegation of, all right, cool, I can breathe. Somebody else is editing the video this time. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think made them offer their services to you?
I think they believe in me. I think they like what I'm doing. I think they have faith that I'm able to deliver on my part, whether that be helping them get paid some, whether that be helping them learn a little bit more about how to put projects together, whether that be they just like what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? Right. And they're like fans of it, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a culmination of multitude of things. But not to pat myself on the back too much, the consistency that I put in, I think inspires other people to also put that type of grind in, you know what I'm saying? Right. And when we're around each other, you can see the elevation from all of us, the collaboration from all of us, where we're all like, okay, even setting these cameras up, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how does this work? And seeing how being able to be open-minded to like how somebody else sees things helps me a lot, because it's like, oh yeah, I would have maybe done it a certain type of way, but it's like seeing this other perspective and being open to it without being like offended that somebody might have a better idea has helped me a lot. And that's come over time, because at first it was my way or get out of here. And that's something I learned from watching stuff but not being a part of it, right? You're like, this is how it has to be done, and it's like, as you work with people, you understand that one, people are people, they're humans, and then two, like, you're not always right, you know what I'm saying? And that's a humbling thing that I've had to go through, and trust people. And it's not just with the content or not just with the branding, it's with the artists that I manage, you know what I'm saying? Right. Trusting that even if like I don't see the track or something a certain way, that like they're the talent, they're the people that I need to trust, they're the ones that I'm believing in. So why would I go try to change them too much or try to derail them on the path that they're headed? And I'm not saying I don't guide them or help them in some way form or shape it, but you got to have some faith that like, they know what they're doing, or just don't do this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And speaking of this type of stuff, you're traveling this path, you're motivated. Yeah. You're ambitious.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be self-motivated.
Yeah.
Like, so who are some of the people who influence you during those times where, you're like, I don't know?
I'm gonna say it again, Prop, for sure, been a huge inspiration to me. Always puts a battery in my back. Again, you, Nicholas F. has been a big inspiration to me. Michael Millions, Mariah and Evan from Martin Agency, Steven from Martin Agency. And then I have some of my personal people that like, they don't know anything about me. Rory Amal, I love that podcast, and I love their story, and I love Rory's grind. And Rick Rubin has always been an inspiration and kind of like somebody that I aspire to be like, you know what I'm saying? I really love the QC run, the quality control. Yeah. Like that was such a dope era. So I mean, and then I pull inspiration from like the craziest things, like from like sitcoms. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people on sitcoms that I'm like super inspired by. You know what I'm saying? And the journey of being independent. I've been really gung-ho on that by watching people like Russ. You know what I'm saying? And like really seeing how his mind works and how he's able to keep putting one foot in front of the other and elevating himself through that. So, I mean, the inspiration, I really try to preach this to everybody. It comes from everything. It comes from what you see, from what you smell, from what you taste, from how you feel in certain situations. I picture, sometimes when I'm like picturing shows, I picture this performance from Khan from the 703, right? This festival. And it 100 people there. But I remember him getting on, there was what are they called? Like the shipping containers?
Yes.
It was one that was like carved out, right? And there's like a stage in there. And he climbed on top of the shipping container. And I just remember him like, it was like a rock star, you know what I'm saying? There was like 100 people there, but it felt like 100,000.
He was giving them the stadium vibe.
Bro, he was giving them, and I always go back to moments like that where, I felt inspired, you know what I'm saying? When I saw Tucci at Magic City, you know what I'm saying? These moments that like you had to kind of be there.
You mean like
you had to be there to
You mean Magic City Strip Club?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah. And and even that, right? I'm on tour when I'm on pretrial. I'm going around the country with an ankle monitor on. I got Soup monitoring me, super Soup. So like, there's so many moments in life. I've been doing this for 17 years now. You know what I'm saying? I remember seeing Hobson when I used to run Kingdom and 300 people in the crowd. He's walking on the crowd performing, like, and they're holding him up, and it's like effortless, like he's walking on water. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still inspired by that. And that was in 2011. You know what I'm saying? I still think about it daily. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's just so many, that whole blog era in particular, like that's so inspirational to me. I mean, all the superstars that we have right now came from that era, and I booked a lot of them when they were just coming up. You know what I'm saying? And now they're doing arenas and they're doing cooking shows on, the Cooking Network and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like all that stuff is just like I really absorb it, and I like then realign myself in a different type of focus. You know what I'm saying? So
I get it.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. But I'm also inspired by like iPhones. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how is it something so simple?
That's that ADHD, man.
Yeah. But it's also like something that's also like relevant to my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that I'm really tapped into is like, I love the legends. I love the people before me, but like I also am really into the people that were part of my story. You know what I'm saying?
Something else that was a part of your story.
Yeah.
Center.
Yeah.
Center.
Oh, well, yeah.
Tell us about Center.
So Center started off as the collective. It was a idea with a bunch of friends that was like, hey, we're gonna all come together, have a creative space, and have something for the community. That went left. We'll just say it like that. And for real, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I trusted people that I shouldn't have trusted. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And that was a huge learning lesson, and part of kind of like where I got to like, hey, I got to cut some things out of my life to make space for bigger things, right? So we come to a point, I get an email one day just randomly, like the rent hasn't been paid in 4-6 months, something like that. Y'all owe $20,000. Y'all have to the end of the month to get it or get out. I'm like, what? Like, I've been paying rent every month, like faithfully, never missed a date, have it all, paying it through Zelle. So I have my paperwork, right? I won't say specific names. I'll keep their names out of it. But long story short, there was multiple people involved in this, right? Where there was probably 7 people paying rent. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody had their office or their space. Or
I remember it. I remember it well.
Yeah. And, we have a team meeting. I'm like, yo, what's going on, bro? Like, what's happening? Long story short, they were embezzling the money. They're stealing the money. Like,
because you had if I recall, you had a retail space.
Yep.
You had photography space, a painting space,
a merchant, like a clothing, like production space, a studio,
editing.
Yeah, editing. So it's like, and then there, there was a CBD company in there. They were growing plants and everything.
I remember the basement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a whole thing, and the idea of it is still amazing. Like the fact that we were even able to start it, right, was amazing.
It was a self-contained ecosystem for your peers.
Yeah. So, but when that point came, right, and this is where it also comes to where I was saying, like, people just showing up, right? Mm-hmm. When that point came, I remember being on the phone with two of my partners, one of them being Prop, and the other one, again, I'm just not going to name any names. We'll keep it positive. But that partner just quit at that point. He said, I'm done. And left me really at one of the hardest moments of my life, you know what I'm saying? And that showed me, you know what I'm saying, like, this is on me or it's just not going to happen.
Right.
So what happened was I was able to negotiate with the landlord and got him to take off a bunch of fees, and I was able to collect that money from people who were essentially stealing it, right? And pay the rent. But then at that point, they had to go.
Yeah.
And I kicked them all out. I mean, I don't know how to say it any simpler than that. And it was tough because then everything was on me. You know what I'm saying? And, that's a lot of overhead, and that's a lot of figuring it out because it's a bunch of space. And I was able to pivot. I rebranded the collective as Center, and we kind of 2.0'd it. You know what I'm saying? And for the first couple of months, man, I was in that big ass building by myself. You know what I'm saying? Just like scared to death I wasn't gonna get a tenant, scared to death I wasn't gonna be able to pull it all together. And I did, you know what I'm saying? I really did pull through. We were able to reinvent the space, redid the storefront, re-establish the venue creative space, get a tattoo artist in there, get a barber in there, get the studio really running. And for me, that was a personal victory, but it was also like a aha moment. It's like, yo, you can do this.
See, wait a minute. I thought, just me reading from the outside, that you just gave that to somebody else.
What?
Center? Yeah.
I did. I'd sold Center.
Okay.
But that was 2 years after I reestablished it.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. So Rudy Walker is the new owner. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I love Rudy. That's one of my best friends. Also a huge inspiration for me. But yeah, man, I got to the point, you know what happened? I got married. I got married and I realized there were some things I had to choose. You know what I'm saying? And
you had to reprioritize.
I had to reprioritize. I was on vacation and my wife, sometimes I'd be distracted. I'd be in my own head. And my wife was just like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm stretched very thin. I have this huge building, this huge overhead. I'm running the music shop. At that time, I also owned part of another record label, Trick Dice with Nick. And I was managing about 6 artists. And I was like, something's got to go. You know what I'm saying? Something's got to go. I don't have time for all of this. I can't commit to things the way that I feel like I should commit to things.
Yeah.
But I still felt like Center, and I still do feel like Center is much needed for the Richmond community. So I went out and looked for people who could keep the vision alive. And, I met with a couple different buyers, and I almost went with somebody else, but Rudy came on last second. And I just had so much faith. I still do have so much faith in Rudy. And I felt like they needed somebody like him. You know what I'm saying? He's a super smart businessman, way smarter than me at business. And he's also creative, so he gets it. You know what I'm saying?
So basically you were very discerning when it came to who you were going to sell to.
Yeah, for sure. Now, don't get me wrong. The other people were great people, but I don't think their long-term vision, like, for it lined up with what I wanted. I still want Center to thrive. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the safe space for creative. So I feel like his vision for it long-term met closer to what I wanted out of it.
All right, so tell me one of the things that you, from your experiences, that you actually want to own out loud.
I want to own this record label. Like, I'm being serious. It's been a dream of mine. And it's again, one of those aha moments. I was at a charity fundraiser with one of my business partners, Pat, and his friend. he's over here bragging about all the stuff we're doing. He's like, what's your end goal with the music shop? And I couldn't tell him. And I thought about it, and it bothered me that night because we're out having fun, drinking a little bit. It's a good time. We're raising money for World Pediatrics, and the whole night I'm like, damn, I don't know.
You just felt like a leaf in the wind.
I did. It was the first time I really because I thought I knew. You know what I'm saying? But like you're talking to somebody who really wants. I mean, he's in your face like, what do you want to do with this, man? Like, what's your end goal? And I'm like, I don't know. And I thought about it, I was like, it's the music shop. I want to be in the music industry, and I want to help musicians. You know what I'm saying? I want to help them in the ways that I can. You know what I'm saying? And I came back probably a month later and had a conversation with Pat. I was like, bro, I need to start this record label. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, me and Alex had started working, and me and him started having discussions about it. You know what I'm saying? And this is, again, 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that we mulled over, but we had so much work. It's like it wasn't something that we just like instantly implemented. I had to learn. I wanted to make sure we did it right. Wanted to make sure he was protected more than anything, and I wanted to make sure that when we do this, we're going to be mentioned with the people that I always grew up idolizing. You know what I'm saying? The Rockefellers, the Bad Boy Records, the Cash Moneys. Like the icons and the people who built amazing records and delivered some of the most impactful moments of my life. You know what I'm saying? Right. So
let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's talk about your life.
Yeah.
All right, because what a lot of people don't realize is where you come from.
Yeah.
Definitely influences where you go.
For sure, 100%.
All right, so let's talk about how you came up, and what part of that do you use now?
So I'm from the East End, Henrico. I grew up in Newbridge area, right off of 9 Mile Road. I always thought that was cool because, obviously Eminem, 8 Mile. When I was a kid, that was my parallel. You know what I'm saying?
Don't ever tell anybody that again.
Oh no, I almost dropped a 9 Mile project at one point because So, anyways, but I grew up in, like, to be real, and I think this is an important topic for me, is like, I grew up around, mostly black people, you know what I'm saying? And black culture.
They're really cool people.
Dude, the best. And I've always, one thing I mean, I just talked about this with Alex. It's like, one thing about it is like, I've always been welcomed with open arms. You know what I'm saying? I've always been received.
And you know why?
Why is that?
In every black neighborhood, there's usually one white family.
Yeah.
And it's usually one guy. They call him White Mike.
Yeah.
You were your neighborhood's White Mike.
I think I was, but it's even deeper than that, right? So we'll get to a little bit later, but like, my mom was with somebody who she shouldn't have been with. You know what I'm saying? He was abusive. He was a crackhead. He was all the bad things you can think of, right?
Gotcha.
His name was James. I mean, he used to steal her rent money. You know what I'm saying? So one day we got put out, and you always see these movies like, what's the one with Sandra Bullock? You know what I'm saying? Where she takes in the football player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it was the opposite though.
Blindside.
The Pettifords took us in. They had 7 kids of their own. It wasn't a huge house, but they gave us, a room, and me and my 2 sisters, my mom and James, lived in that room. You know what I'm saying? And it was a long enough time. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's always been, and I was like 5, 6 years old. I was like kindergarten, first grade type time. And for me, that's always been a pillar of how I see the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, they saved us. You know what I'm saying? They really did. They fed us. We built, like, I'm still friends with all of those,
You're organically connected.
Exactly. And my mom has always been the type that's like, you don't judge people by the color of their skin. You don't judge, she's always been on us about that. But it's like, at that point, you can't, right? Like, it's like, you were at the lowest and somebody helped you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's always played a big part in how I see the world. You know what I'm saying? As I got older and I turned 10, I actually went into foster care. It was crazy experience. I was at school one day. I got called to the principal's office. I thought I was in trouble. Like, I was wilding out at that point, but and you know, a social worker's there. She's been in, mind you, we've been dealing with DSS for years up to this point. So, but we don't know what's going on. They're like, we're gonna take you to the doctor. And I never forget this moment, man. I hop in the van and my other sister's in there, and she screams, they're taking us. Boom.
Like a movie scene.
Like a movie scene, bro. Like, door slams shut. I'm trying to rip it open. And the child locks on. There's another guy who's like our in-home worker. He's like holding me down, and they just like peel off, right? And where I was at Arthur Ashe Elementary at the time, so I was really like the only white kid there too. You know what I'm saying? And I never forget this moment. Like, we're driving, and we have to pass my house to get out. You know what I'm saying? And or to get to the highway or whatever. And I see my mom like crying walking up the stairs as I'm driving past her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that moment was like, oh, this is real. Like you don't know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? But I always do look at it as a blessing in disguise because, you know, I lived in the East End, but my foster home was in the West End. It's two totally different worlds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I thought if you had 2 stories, you were rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you got 2 stories in your house? This is crazy. So I ended up, you know, going over there. In my first foster home, Jenny, she's still in my life. Still, you know, she watches my kids and everything. She's like a mother to me. You know what I'm saying? She is a mom to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was a blessing because had I gone somewhere else, it may not have gone that way. You know, through my journey, and I stayed in foster care until I was 17, and I moved out on my own. You know, through that journey, you know, I lived in multiple foster homes. I went to like 5 different middle schools, but I ended up in a group home in the West End. And that was a blessing too, you know what I'm saying? Like, most people are scared of group homes, but for me, it was like a perfect time to be there because I was the youngest person there. All the other kids were 16, 17, so I had older brothers, and I always wanted a brother, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with my mom, my sisters, and my grandma, you know what I'm saying? So I finally got back to people that I felt like understood me and liked the same things that I liked, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. You know, Mike, Anthony, Diamond, True, all of them, like, were so influential to me. I wanted to dress like them. They put me on.
It was your first official peer group.
It really was.
Yeah.
And the first time I felt like I was safe too. Like, for real, you know what I'm saying? Ironically, because you know, some of the kids are in there. They wild out. They're going through stuff. We're all unstable as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but like, we just are. But it was like, it was a real brotherhood. Like, we might fight in the house. We might argue. Shit might get wild for a little while, but like outside of there, we had each other's back. So I just got around people that got me, and it really became a brotherhood of like, yeah, we might fight in the house, but when we go out there, they already know what time it is. You know, we had a group home van, so people know, like, yo, when the van pulled up to school, there's 5, 6 people hopping out that joint.
It's them again.
Yeah. So, you know, so that comes with its own stigma, but it also comes with its own bond. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're all going through similar things, and we're all doing it together. Then I moved out on my own when I was 17, and I ended up going to college on a partial soccer scholarship, and then I got sick in college, and I lost my scholarship. And for me, that was really hard because the way that I'm into music now, I was really into soccer like that before. Like, I still love music. I was the guy that maybe freestyled on the bus and stuff like that after the games. But, you know, I had a void, man. Like, I had a big void in my life. You know, I didn't think I was going to be Messi, you know, but I thought I was going to play for the Richmond Kickers one day. You know what I'm saying? And when I realized that I was, after I got sick, I wasn't 100%, and I didn't think I'd be 100% again, I had to fill that void. You know, I'm not one of these people that like to wander around aimlessly. And man, I feel it. I got into music and I hit the ground running. And I dropped out of college. Looking back, I wish I would have stayed, not for really the college part, but like my target demo was in my classrooms. You know what I'm saying? I could have got, you know, my fan base was right beside me.
So why did you drop out?
I mean, I'll tell you what happens. Like, one day I went to take an exam, and I realized I didn't know shit on the exam, and Honestly, I did not fucking care about socialism. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the class was. And sociology is what it is. And I was like, man, I'm spending money to be here when I could be making money. And I don't know if that's like the best idea or approach, but that's where I was at that time.
That's how you felt. You stuck to it.
And I stuck to it. And going through that, I will say, I got into selling drugs, ended up getting a felony for that, went to jail. And that was my wake up moment. I was in jail, and
how did you get caught?
I got set up in a sting operation, man. I was hanging out with some people. We were working together. He got caught the night before, and I didn't know that. And he said, hey, I got this play up north. And usually I didn't leave Richmond. I was like, all right, cool, let's go. He said he needs this. I get up there. I'll never forget this shit, man. I wasn't even supposed to be part of the play. I was just letting him handle it, middleman it, I was about to get out to use the bathroom. On my phone, I look up, 20 cops, guns pointed at me. And I look to him, he goes, man, I'm sorry. So
have you spoken to him since?
No.
Okay.
Nah. When he cried in the jail cell, I just realized we were different people. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. You know what I'm saying? I just realized we were different people, and I kept it 10 toes. I'm solid. I'm not going to snitch on nobody. Not because I'm into some like street code culture type of shit. I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? Right. And at that point, I realized it was about accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew better, and I still didn't do better.
You didn't blame it on him.
I did it, because even
he facilitated it, but you still were wrong.
It was my mistake, bro.
Right.
And I knew I was headed down a bad path because I was losing important people in my life, headed to that. There was real people that I loved and I care about to this day, and they were abandoning me. You know what I'm saying? And they never abandoned me through anything. You know what I'm saying? Through being homeless, through breakups, through whatever, right?
But you were wrong.
But I was dead ass wrong. And again, man, like I'm better than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that people out here doing it are bad people or they're not worthy, but I'm smarter.
Your standards were different.
Exactly. And sitting in that jail cell, bro, or in that bunk, and you got nothing but time on your hand, bro. Like, and I was just thinking, like, I'm not gonna be back here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. I don't know about these other people. I don't know what they got going on, but me, like, I'm not gonna be back here. And after that, I really did start changing my life. And I think a lot of people have seen it. You know what I'm saying? And like, don't get me wrong, I didn't come out and be perfect. You know what I'm saying? I made a ton more mistakes. But when I met my wife, I already knew her, but when I got with my wife and we started dating, and then she got pregnant 3 months into us dating, and somebody like me, I didn't think I was going to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with it. I was ready to live the life I was living and be cool. But when you have a kid, it just opens up something inside of you. You know what I'm saying? And I started just seeing the world different, and I started seeing life different. And I realized, like, every day I wake up now, I'm not the priority. Like, that's the priority first. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I got to take care of first. And don't get me wrong, I didn't even go into it being the best parent at first. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My mentality was like, I got to work. I got to make money. I got to make sure they're good, But as you grow as a parent, you realize, like, yes, that's important, 100%.
Right.
But nothing is more important than time and time spent, even if it's just being there. You know what I'm saying? And that's something my wife taught me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's superwoman, bro. Like, we talk all this cool stuff about me, but like, there's nobody in my life that I've seen just show up for us more than my wife. Being pregnant, losing her job, whatever, it didn't matter. She never stopped. She never gave up on us. And, when I started my business, the first 3 months she was pregnant, and she paid all the rent, all the bills, so I could get my company off the ground. You know what I'm saying? She believed in me that much. She still believes in me that much. You know what I'm saying? So for me, all of those things over time, kind of help you like realize like really what's important and what you're capable of through the lens of somebody else, right? You know what I'm saying?
So you have all of these lessons.
Yeah.
You have all of these people
Yeah.
that you've dealt with.
Yeah.
Some still around.
Yeah.
Let's relate it back.
Yeah.
What is the music shop now?
One is my baby. You know, it's my baby. Yeah, like, I can't say anything better than that. It's something that I care about so deeply because I've been able to, I feel like, give back in a way that feels right to me and natural to me, to kind of pay back all the people that have given to me and fed me and poured into me and believed in me when I didn't see what I had. And for me, I think that's the most valuable thing about the music shop and what it is today, is that, you know, I've been able to not just put money in people's pockets, but really, like, that joy of when we complete a project and they're just, you know, happy, you know what I'm saying? They're like, dog, you did it. Like, I'm like, nah, you really did it. You know what I'm saying? You showed up, you did the work. I was just here to help you kind of organize it and put it into like a process. And for me, that's what it is, man. It's the joy of helping people and showing them what they're worth. You know what I'm saying? And that's on all levels. I mean, whether it be something small or like even telling Alex, you know, when he got his first brand partnership, you know, he was just excited to get the shoes. I'm like, no, bro, you're worth more than that. We're gonna get you money. We're gonna get you opportunities, and I'm gonna show you just how valuable you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And every time we renegotiated that deal, I got him more money. You know what I'm saying? I got him more value because that's who he is. You know what I'm saying? Even if he didn't always see it like that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's what the music shop is. It's about pouring into other people. You know what I'm saying? And helping them achieve something that's important to them in their life, and believing in them even when they don't understand how valuable they are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what's up with the wolf with the gold tooth, man?
That, you know, I don't want to say I'm a lone wolf because, again, we just talked about all the people that have helped me. But to be real, man, I've been on my own since I was 10. You know what I'm saying?
And for the people who don't know, we're talking about your logo.
My logo, yeah. I felt like a lone wolf for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And now I got a pack. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's that's what it is to me. And then I got the gold tooth. You know what I'm saying? I got the gold fang. You know, so I think I see myself a lot in my work. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is to me.
All right. So you've managed artists.
Yep.
You've developed them.
Yep.
It's not the same thing, though.
Hell nah. Hell, and that's kind of why the label exists, right? Because I'm not a person that can't be hands-on. And if you work with me, you know that. Like, I can't like not help you with everything and like let you lack on something, right? You know what I'm saying? Because like essentially I could do that, right? Like I could just say, hey, I'm gonna get you booked for shows. I'll just get my cut off of that. I'm gonna get you this brand deal. I'm just getting my cut off of that. It's like, no, I can't do that. So what I've learned is like, manager is not really a good word for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a partner. Like if anything that I get in, I'm your partner. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that is the artist development part of it. It's like, yo, when Alex went up to New York and did his press run, you know, did all these things, I'm right beside him. We're walking the miles together. We're traveling like uncomfortable ass bus together that make any food stops. You know, like, you know, we're walking through Queens in the middle of the.
You didn't pack sandwiches?
He said we should. I was like, nah, bro, they're gonna stop. Boy, was we hungry. But I wish we would have packed some sandwiches for sure, bro. And I will. Well, we're not taking no buses anymore. I'll rent a car. I'll never take a bus again. But even like, all right, a perfect example, right, of how it works two ways though. I come from the underground hip hop world. Mm-hmm. We'll thug it. We'll sleep anywhere. We'll ride any bus. We just gonna get, you know, that's part of our, and then we're gonna turn it into a rap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you work with somebody like Alex who has like a different self-worth a little bit, and I'm not like downplaying anybody else's, but like, you know, when he's like, I want to, you know, I wouldn't want to take the bus. I would rather take a train or fly. At first, I'm like, man, come on, suck it up, right? But why? You know what I'm saying? Why?
Yeah, why would you take him out of his element?
not even that. Why would I downgrade just to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that actually made me look at myself differently. Like,
step it up, buddy.
Really. And also have a higher standard for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're worth it. You know what I'm saying? And I've actually talked with my therapist about that, you know, that specific situation. Because I'm like, he wouldn't just get on the bus. But it's like,
am I just a bus guy?
Yeah, exactly. Like, exactly, bro. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And I have to, that is a way of me viewing myself. You know what I'm saying?
Not that we have problems with anybody who rides the bus.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But let's step it up.
Yeah.
And let's get there in comfort so that when we get there, our back isn't hurting and, you know, we're not sweating our ass off when we need to go to the next thing. You know what I'm saying?
So outside of the bus,
yeah,
outside of forgetting to pack sandwiches,
yeah,
that's not a really good look so far with you and Alex. Okay? So what was it in your head that made you think that you could develop an artist?
I'm gonna tell you just straight up. When I first saw Alex perform, I didn't care what it took. I just knew I wanted to work with this guy.
Mr. Boogie Shoes himself, right?
Yeah, but it was more than, obviously it's the dance moves, but it's like the whole energy he brings to performance. To me, regardless, if I'm gonna manage you, you have to be able to perform first. The people talk about, I gotta hear a good record, I gotta see this, and like, no. I need to make sure you can perform, because if you can't perform, I can't even believe in you. Like, and I know that may be different than other people's approach and stuff like that, but that's how I've always seen it. Like, if you're not a good performer, you're not gonna have a long career. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
And then two, I have to be excited. You know what I'm saying? We're about to take on a journey where we're 1 in 100 million. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You gotta have something that just gets me excited. You know what I'm saying? And nothing is more important to the musician than the live performance to me. You know what I'm saying? You can have 100 records, but if you can't go out there and communicate that to the people via this medium, mm-hmm. you don't have a direction. You don't have a career to me. You know what I'm saying?
Watch, he's getting ready to do the Sugarfoot.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to do it.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. He's about to do the spin. You know what I'm saying? Like you know. So, you know, and you know, going to other artists when I like go to a Nick F show and watch those dudes turn it into a mosh pit and feel how electric that is. You know what I'm saying? That's special. You know what I'm saying?
See, but you know what? See, you didn't tell them about OG Illa.
Yeah.
You're like, you weren't dancing, you weren't spinning, you were just sort of like bouncing around like and wanting rings like Kareem.
Yeah.
So like you knew how you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like, so what was one of the advantages of having gone through performing as a rapper? And trying to use that information to manage somebody like Alex Mack.
Even though I was a rapper, I always saw myself as more. Like, mm-hmm. I saw myself as an icon, you know, like, and I already knew what the lowest of the lows were. I had already been through them all. You know, I've performed where it was just me and the promoter, you know, literally. And I'm not joking. Camel, me, promoter. The only person in the crowd. You know, I've failed miserably at so many things. You know what I'm saying? It really leaves you a limited option of where to go. You know what I'm saying? But most important, like, I think the moment I realized it was something special outside of the performance is when he sent me the project we're about to put out in August, and it was about 6 of the 12 songs that are on there were like already done. And I didn't understand it at first, right? Sounds confusing, but most of my favorite albums, the first listen, I didn't understand it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
you just listened for the aesthetics of it.
Yeah, and then but I couldn't stop playing it because I was like, what is this? I'm from a whole different world. And I was like, God damn, this thing is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, we're talking about, you know, we got things like AI and shit like that now. Like, I'm anti-AI because of what Alex did with the album. The pure talent to produce it, to write it, to record it, to mix it like he did, to have it be so many different sounds but be cohesive. I'm like, 1, I could never, you know what I'm saying? And then 2, this is what it's about. You know what I'm saying? This is what James Brown did it for. This is why Mike did it. This is why Prince did it. You know what I'm saying? This is why Beyonce does it. There's just this something special, but something organic and something totally different than I'd ever experienced before.
So you had to reset
I'm
how
still
you
resetting.
look and listen to things.
100%.
So with that being the case,
Yeah.
is it hard to manage yourself? Is it harder to manage you or manage him?
Nah, it's both. It's both for real, because I mean we've had heated discussions about content. We've had heated discussion, not heated, but we've had discussions about the master. And we're on different sides of it, and it's
Why are you shaking the tambourine so goddamn hard?
it's like why, and it's like, but it's again, it goes back to what I said before. You got to have trust, and that's why I'm in therapy. That's what my biggest struggle in life is trust, right? But that's also where love is formed. That's where bond is formed. That's where the best things in life are formed, is when you kind of let go a little bit. So that's where I struggle, the letting go part. But also him having enough faith in me and trust in me that like I wouldn't steer him down a bad direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that I also have a skill in my own right for certain things as well. And us having me picking up where he lacks and him picking up where I lack. You know what I'm saying? And also, just straight up, sometimes you just gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is what he wants, and I trust him enough to know that, all right, that's how we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's important for me as human development as much as it is for him as artist development. And I think both of us, just as we've gone through this process, have built more trust for each other, built more respect for each other. And some of the things he may not have agreed with me, they worked out really well for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So he's like, all right, Will may not know what the hell he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And then same thing with me. Like, there's certain things I may have been like, I don't know. And then it worked out better than we ever planned.
See, you're talking really sweet right now.
But it's true though.
All right, so there's somebody that's hearing this.
Yeah.
It was like, man, maybe I should give Will Keck a call.
Don't do it.
Don't do it?
No, right now, I'm gonna be honest. I got probably 5 artists that want me to manage them right now, and I'm being real serious. I probably would manage 3 out of the 5, right? But I don't have the resources, and I don't have the time. And more importantly, bro, I'm focused on Alex. Like, that's where my focus is right now. Eventually, we do, he's a part owner of my label, you know what I'm saying? Or
Okay.
our label. I said
Right.
my label, our label. He's part owner of the music shop now.
Okay.
And that was part of our deal of him coming and signing with us, right?
He needed equity.
He needs
Skin
it.
in the game.
Exactly.
Yep.
And more importantly, he needs to be protected. You know what I'm saying? And that offers another layer of protection. But eventually we will get to that. We want to work with other people. Alex is a producer first. Like he'll tell you himself, he's a producer first. There's a billion records we want to make for people, but we need to build our proof of concept and solidify ourselves before we can stretch ourselves thin and help too many other people. And that's something I learned back when the center thing happened, back when I was managing a bunch of artists. I let all that go. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, okay, before I do everything, I need to do something. You know what I'm saying? And that's really something I live by. And I'm just totally focused on Alex and his career. The agency part is part of the whole shebang. So that's something that will still live. But when we're talking about music and management and artist development, that's my only focus.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's do some industry talk.
Let's do it.
Putting numbers on the board. Let's talk about putting numbers on the board. Do you think it actually matters?
100%. I think it matters until you don't like the person, right? You know what I'm saying? And then it's numbers don't matter. Like, let's just be real. Numbers have dictated everything that we do. It dictates business. It dictates sales. But more importantly, like the conversation, well, everybody, McDonald's sells more than, this other burger shop, right?
Yep.
Doesn't mean it's quality. Okay, I can give you that a little bit, but it does mean more people like it.
I see what you did there.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can sit here and say it doesn't matter, but it does, and it's mattered for every single artist in the game. I mean, we still talk about Mike and his impact, and we talk about his sales, and we talk about Thriller, and we talk about how many people showed up to his shows. That matters, man. I mean, and for an artist, it really matters because it's not about the sales. It's about how many people you can touch, how many people are affected by your music, how many people believe in you. And that only inspires you to go up and up and up. I mean, you see Kanye, he just did a show for 60,000 people. You know what I'm saying? And he's in the middle of the show, he's standing on the world, top of the world. That is something that...
You know, all of these numbers you're talking, these are vanity numbers.
They are, but they're not, man, because when you go and you see the impact of the music on people, and you go at the end of the year and see who's been listening to who, it paints a better picture of like, okay, this is what's moving people. And now, again, you don't have to necessarily like everybody that's on those lists or whatever, but we're not gonna act like other people don't. And that they're not influential or they're not impactful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's the ultimate thing you should strive for. You should strive to make the music that you feel best represents you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if that's 20,000 people or if that's a million people, that's going to be based off of, you know, the music you put out, right? Never lose that. But when we're talking about, hey, the impact and the cultural relevancy, and we talk about the legacy, and we talk about 20 years from now when they're all done.
And the money.
And the money. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't even mention the money. Because,
I did.
Yeah, I did. But to me, money doesn't move me. It doesn't. I
Will Keck.
I promise you can ask anybody I know, money does not move me.
Well, maybe it's the wrong number. You put the right number in front of you, you'll move.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that I don't need money or that I don't want to obtain money.
Or that you don't like money.
I don't really like money. I'm being serious.
Well, you like the things that you could swap money for.
Which, for me, the only thing I truly care about is that my family's good. So I go out there and get money because I need it.
Right, you need to pay the heat, the electric, the
food. And my
food.
kids need to go to soccer games, and they need to go to swimming lessons.
Absolutely.
And they need to go see the world. They need to travel. They need to be, they need to be educated at a higher level. Those are things that I am worried about investing in. But like when we're talking about, do I care if I'm on the Forbes list? No. Long as my kids and my wife are good, I don't care. Like I really don't. And I know I should. I know I should be more, and probably why I'm not, like I said, there's other people that are better at business than me, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But there's nobody more passionate about what they do, you know what I'm saying?
But you have to understand the difference between the money, especially when it comes to streaming, as compared to selling physical copies.
I'm glad that you brought that up, right? Because I'm glad that you brought that up. That's been a huge topic of discussion. DSP, all right, I'm going to start this first before they kill me. DSP should absolutely pay more artists first. Let's just get that conversation out the way. 100%.
Right.
But we've never had this much understanding of who's listening to music and how much to listen to music. And that's important not only for the consumption of music, but also for the artists themselves on how they can market.
Oh, yeah, no, the data that comes from it is invaluable.
Invaluable. And listen, there's people who sold records, vinyl tapes, CDs. The CD never got played. It never got opened. The vinyl's on somebody's wall. Would never know how much they actually listened to it. And I think that's the important part that we're learning right now is like, who are people actually listening to? You know what I'm saying? That's important. And it's a real discussion because I know we've seen artists, Selena Gomez at one time where she bought 3,000 of her own albums so she could beat somebody to be number one. You know, like that doesn't.
Allegedly.
She said it on camera.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to cover your ass.
That's fine. And I'm not trying to single her out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to single her out because we also know record labels have been doing it for years to build publicity for their artists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that to me, we know Jay-Z had 1 million sales because they were instantly put into a Samsung phone. And that's not a shot. That was a good business decision.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That was marketing genius.
It's genius. So, but we don't know how many people listen to that. We don't. And that's important because it's like, just because you sold it doesn't mean it actually lived with somebody. And to me, that's what I want. I want to go around the town, I want to go around the world, and I want to hear Alex's music playing out of speakers. I want to go back and look at the data at the end of the year and say, damn, bro, people was actually listening to you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that DSPs have elevated and helped us understand a lot more. So I'm not a anti-DSP person. Obviously, the money is always funny, but that's the music industry. You know what I'm saying?
But you would love to sell a lot of physical copies.
100. I mean, we're
because that's all you.
Yeah, we're printing vinyls. We're printing cassettes. Don't get me wrong.
Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Don't you ever use the word vinyls.
Oh, why?
The plural of vinyl when it comes to records.
Yeah.
Is vinyl.
Okay, vinyl. My bad. All right, we're in English class now too.
Okay, I had to do that.
No, it's okay.
It's a pet peeve.
It's like deers. Yeah. And then just to take it, just one step further with all of this, when it comes to this, is we only have DSPs because of consumers. A lot of people complain about them, but they don't take any responsibility. Do you think a label who was making millions and millions, billions off of selling physical product would have been like, oh, let's erase that and just go to a completely different plan? No, they're just like every other business. They study the trends and the consumer habits and they switch over.
We'll talk about this offline.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. We sort of disagree on that. But you're not totally wrong.
Okay, yeah, and I think that's just something in general, because like I hear this saying, like nobody buys vinyl anymore, nobody buys physical product, copies of it. Yeah, they don't. So they pivoted because people went a different direction, and it's like that's up to us as consumers, because guess what? You can still buy the product. You can still buy it right now. Mm-hmm. Nobody's stopping you. You're not doing it because the new thing, you like the convenience of it.
Well, actually, the sales have picked up.
Well, now, over the last couple of years.
Everything is cyclical.
Cyclical, yes.
Yeah.
But it's still not beating DSPs right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it makes more money for the artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it should.
Yes.
And it should. Artists deserve more. I'm not, and that's why we're independent, and I can go through that conversation once, a little bit later. But like we got to start as consumers taking responsibility for our habits so that we can support the things that we want.
Okay, so I see we have your partner.
Yeah.
Co-label owner.
Yes, sir.
Crazy.
All right, so I asked him this before.
Yeah.
I said, is it Alex Mack? Is it Alexander Mack?
No, Alexander. And I made him change his whole logo for that purpose. Like, yeah. Like, yo, brand recognition.
All right, so Alexander.
Good evening.
All right, so who is this guy to you, man?
Man, this is my boy, you know what I'm saying, first and foremost. This is my manager, it's my business partner, it's my creative partner, you know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, so let's do the corny thing. So how did you meet Will Keck?
So, he brought up Clubhouse.
Yep.
I remember being in my parents' basement, you know what I'm saying, and just popping into Clubhouse. And, he had the group going, and he said, what's up? And from there on, I think we followed each other or whatever. And we just kept in touch. And then I would say 2024, you hit me for the Black Music Month
with iHeart
show with iHeart. And I went out to that. It was at RVA Boombox.
Yep.
And
that was the show I was telling you about.
That was the show that he was actually talking about. And from there on,
we've been
rest
locked
is history.
in. Yeah.
All right, so what do you see in him?
Superstar. When it comes to this music stuff, bro, I see him like I see Mike. I see him like I see, the greats to me. You know what I'm saying? But personally, man, he's a good person. His family are good people. You know what I'm saying? So it takes the level of responsibility just a little bit higher for me, because you don't want to taint a good person. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to, especially in this music industry, you want to turn them evil. And So I see him as a lot of things, I see him as an artist. I see him as a good person. I see him as a role model, you know what I'm saying, to the youth and to other musicians. The depth grows as our relationship grows, you know what I'm saying? I see him as a friend, you know what I'm saying? So our conversations aren't all business, you know what I'm saying? At real important times, he showed up for me, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, that has definitely solidified us more and more as we've gone through this thing, and vice versa. He knows he can call me and talk about real life stuff.
Let's not assume that.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
ask him about that. All right, so Alexander Mack,
Yes, sir.
what made you mess with this white guy from the hood?
So first and foremost, I saw his drive. Like, I always notice that, I think, in people first.
Okay.
I notice I'm a very passionate person, so that tends to be the first thing that I notice in people. I can usually look at somebody's eyes and tell that they love something and that they're really passionate about it. I saw how much people respected him and the things that he did.
It's weird, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. But nah, man. I really respected those things about him, and and I respected his taste and the things that he had been able to build for himself. He did still have a center at the time.
Yeah.
And that was very impressive to me. It had become kind of like a hub for the creative community at the time.
Yeah.
So it was like a combination of all those things.
All right, so like in the industry, sometimes you have the manager over here,
For sure.
you have the artist over here.
Yes.
Like literally all are now sitting on the same side of the table.
Yeah.
All right, so how does that dynamic work?
Really, I think we've really always worked from like a creative partner like type of like perspective, which is different when it comes to manager and artists. Usually, like you said, a manager's not that hands-on. Mm-hmm. The artist just makes the music, does the show. The manager's like, I take 10, 20% it should be of like whatever business comes in. Together, we're actually going out and pursuing things, and we bring it back, and that's how we do it.
Okay.
So that's really how the dynamic really is. When he says that he's hands-on, he's not lying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to cover art, like when it comes to shooting the content and the video, like he's actually there. Like he's present for pretty much every part of the process.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
See, y'all are talking real sweet right now. Like, this is cute.
Y'all
don't argue?
Oh, we have definitely had disagreements for sure.
Like, well, give me one.
1,000%.
Like,
you want to go?
Give me
Should
the
I
last
go?
one.
Like,
Give me the last one.
Shit. I think the last major one was definitely over the Masters. Like, there was 2 songs. Like, first off, shout out Michael Millions.
Yeah, shout out Michael Millions.
That guy
man.
is a master at his craft.
He's a Grammy Award-winning master.
Yes, he
the
is.
Grammy Award winner.
And but honestly, he's also just a great guy.
Yeah.
But there's 2 songs on there. One is the next single that's come out, right? The drums hit just a little too hard for me. It was just like one drum like that goes throughout the song. It's like it was just a little bit
Too
dominating.
punchy.
Yes,
It was a
punchy.
snare,
Yeah,
actually.
it was a snare. Sorry.
It was
Sorry. Alex he's attached to the art. You know what I'm saying? So for him, everything was perfect.
He was like, I like it.
Yeah, he's like, I like it like that. I'm like,
Yep.
No, I don't think the listeners will like it.
well, that's why I'm looking at it. I'm like, so look, I go to Mike Millions to campaign for my side. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, yo.
And he stayed out of it.
No, he did. He's Switzerland. He was like, I see what you're saying, but the artist wants what they want. They're gonna get it. I said, but I stayed on him because I'm like, bro, you're so close to perfection. Like, I think that this is like the thing that like makes it perfect. It was one more song.
It was the last one.
There was like
one.
a note that, like I'm just like it's a little too high.
It was like a frequency, like that was like.
Was it a little too dissonant?
It was like kind of like an issue with too much EQ on the high end. Something like as small as that. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
one
you hear
track.
it right there.
Yeah.
Literally, no, that one, it was literally like, literally like that.
Literally like that.
I know exactly what you mean.
Literally.
Why did they do that?
Yeah. So that was because it's like, again, he's attached to the art. You know, I'm attached to it, like, you know, in every way. But I'm also like, hey, I'm also on the business side, and I'm also on the listener side of like, I'm just gonna try to push you to like do this. And Alex he's not as outwardly like objective as I, or like, you know, like vocal as I am, like, but you can feel it. He's like,
Right.
you know, you can feel it, and
He does it in an artsy way.
yeah, right. He, you know, and I think there's tension. You know, it's tension, and Mike's on the phone with us, and I'm like, you hear it, right, Mike? You know what I'm saying?
You're like, that noise.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
yeah. So we actually fixed one thing. We fixed one thing, and I think we left the other. So and because
compromise.
Well, too, it goes back to what I said. You got to trust him. Like otherwise, what am I doing this for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to be an artist for him. You know what I'm saying? So I think he trusted me a little bit, and Mike. And then, you know, he also went with his gut on the other thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, you probably don't even hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not even hear it as
You're doing a lot of assuming, young fella.
I'm saying in general, like the normal person might not even hear it. You know, but it was like Mike was like, let's take it down 2 dBs. You know what I'm saying? And I think it turned out great.
And you were like, okay,
yeah,
all right.
Just at least hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I think we stuck with it. So I mean but it's been other things too, man. I mean, you know, he was when we went to Atlanta to meet with Ray Daniels' team recently. 2 hours before our flight got canceled. 2 hours before we leave, our flight got canceled. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, so crazy. I'm just like I'm just a problem solver. I'm like, I text him, hey, let's just get a rental and drive down. I call him, hey, let's get a rental and drive down. He's like, I'm trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let's just do it. Let's not like put the stress on, like, if we get a flight in the morning, what if they cancel then? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, obviously he's stressed out. He's not really mad, but he's stressed. Because like, you know, this is an important thing.
He's highly inconvenienced.
Exactly. And then it's also like now we have to kind of adjust the whole plan, and like you got to sit in the car for 8 hours too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, those things happen. You know, and there's been other things with content in particular. Yeah. Like that was a little one recently. There's a video where it's like one part may or may not be messed up. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't know. Like I don't see it. He sees it. But you can see, like, I'm like, Alex, I really don't see it. He's like, dog, I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right there.
It's right, and it's literally like that. Pause it, replay it. I don't see it, Alex. It's right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
how do you not see this?
Yeah. Yeah, so, but again, it goes back to, like, the trust thing. It always going to come back to that for me. It's like, you know, do you trust me? Do you think I will put you in a bad light? And then for me, do I trust himself with his own career? You know what I'm saying? Like that's important. So.
All right, speaking of career,
yeah.
What's the name of the album?
You Had to Be There.
All right, how did we come up with that?
So literally, I'm thinking of the premise of the album. You know what I'm saying? Like literally what the story conveys and what it's about and everything like that. Pretty much a 45-year span of just, you know, doing this music thing. Like your life kind of changes a little bit when you kind of start to see it happen. Then your lifestyle kind of changes. You know, like you're out a lot. You're out in different cities and stuff a lot. And it was just a whole story. And I was just like, you had to be there. I think I said it in conversation. I was talking to somebody and I was like,
that's it.
I think that's it. And then I was like, from just like a whole just like concept and what you can do with it, that's it.
The word is epiphany.
Yes.
Yeah. And just to be clear, that was all him. The album was already named when he brought it to me. So okay. Yeah, you know, I'm just supporting it.
And what's the date?
804, August 4th.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Hey.
And
And,
get this.
we're dropping on Tuesday. We're
And
not
get
dropping
this.
on Friday. We're dropping on Tuesday.
It's also my grandfather's birthday too.
Oh,
So-
I just found that out myself.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So it all kind of like, you know what I'm saying, just comes together. So it's a special day.
And it was supposed to be a different date. So
Yeah.
that I feel like that's, divine timing, you know what I'm saying,
Sure.
of like how that worked out, because it was definitely supposed to be July 14th. And that was,
Yeah.
we set that.
Y'all wouldn't have been ready July 14th.
We're not right. We're absolutely not ready. Yeah. So,
Definitely not.
and I know the guys in the behind the cameras are thankful that we were. But it was really a distro thing. Like, we signed to a new distro. Shout out Foundation Media.
Yes.
And just with the changes, with the negotiations we were going through with the lawyers, everything, it just wasn't going to work out. To just some free game for people to pitch to playlists, to do the PR thing, you need 3 weeks lead time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time we got it mastered, we were happy with the masters, and we were able to negotiate the deal with the distro and the lawyers on the record label side. We weren't going to have that time.
Right.
So and again, it was supposed to be 7/28.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to work because, again, sometimes with lawyers, it's just a little slower than you want it to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we were like,
Just the
next week
process
is
in
like,
general.
he was adamant in particular that we drop it on Tuesday and not Friday.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it used to be.
Yeah.
And then two, we're not trying to, we realize our position of being an indie artist and being up and coming, and not trying to compete like all the time with the majors that drop on these Friday dates. You know what I'm saying? So like, give ourselves some grace. And also, we got a release party, so we want people to hear it before the release party. So there was a lot of strategy in that, and it just lined up with 804. So again, that's why I said the divine timing thing. I didn't know about his grandfather's birthday too.
Yeah.
So that kind of and then it's 804, man. Come on.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
VA stuff.
All right, so you put a lot of time into it.
Yes.
You put a lot of energy into
100%.
it. You put up with him. He put up with you.
Yeah.
All right, so what's riding on this for you?
First and foremost, like, this is like the next chapter. This is my first project in 7 years. Haven't put out a project in 7 years, so this is a whole different sound. A lot of
Why?
sound. My first project in 7 years. Why?
Yeah.
I first and foremost, just going through changes. I'm not somebody who rushes music out just to put it out, but I was releasing singles consistently, and that gave me the opportunity to see what works, what connects, to experiment with the sound where I really wanted to take it, see how that does in the market.
Work on your dance moves.
Work on my dance moves,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But actually, I've had college shows and done all of that in that time too. So it really did allow me to work on my performance while experimenting with new sounds and everything like that. And then also just knowing when the time is right, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
we were gonna put it out last year.
yeah.
And it was a different album than it is right now.
Yeah, it had a few different songs on it, which made it sound different. So,
That's for the deluxe edition, though.
There's one song I'm gonna push him to put on that. He took it off, and I'm still not happy about it.
I know which one it is.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I think for me, what's riding on it is that people just see Alex in the light that he's in now. When you go listen to Alex's music right now, it's mostly hip hop, which is, he is a rapper as well, right? Yeah. But this new album is completely different than anything he's ever done. There's so many different sounds, and he's more singing and it's more dance music on it. So I think for me, it's important for the world to see him in a new light, because one, it's hard explaining. So, like, they're like, oh, he's a rapper. Well, not to me. You know what I'm saying? Because this new stuff is not rap. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's some rap elements to it, but like that's not. But I can't really also argue that, because all you know is what you can get to. You can only get to the DSPs and to the music that he has out. So, but it's not a real reflection of like where I see him, or really where he sees himself right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, that is like the biggest and most important thing, is that they see him in the light that he is in now, and really understand like his range. You know what I'm saying? And like what what this is, about to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and then obviously, man, we want to reach more people. Like, just being real, like, again, going back to the numbers thing, like, it's not about reaching everyone, but it's definitely about reaching more people and impacting them in different ways. I mean, even some of these people behind the camera have been affected by the stuff that they've heard. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's those two are the highest priority for me.
Okay, so we've talked about the creative part of it.
Yeah.
What about the business, man? What have you learned from this guy? What have you learned that you were like, you know what? I didn't realize that, but that's very important for me to have picked up on.
Patience, which I think is hard for any artist. I think that's that's one of the biggest challenges for artists, because you have this thing, right, that you're really excited about that you want to put out, right? And I think I have a better grasp on it than like most artists do. But whenever the business is being settled and you're doing the things with the lawyers and you're doing the admin for your catalog, artists, please, that can take a long time, especially if you've been putting out music for a while and not doing everything. You're just putting music out. So patience, so that's one thing that, he's like, hey, it's things are gonna get out, it's just the process of like,
doing
making
it right
sure
the
that
first time so you don't have
to go back.
Backtrack.
Yeah. So I would say like that's the biggest thing, but also too, like just like not being so hard on yourself. As an artist, I'm super hard on myself. I'm like that when I'm looking at content. I'm like that when I'm listening to the music back after I've made it. I usually sit with the music for a year before people hear it. like if you're hearing the music, I probably made it at least a year ago, at least. So, he's, inspired me to he's inspired me to move more, really, and just act more on, what the objective is. So
this is like a real good kumbaya thing y'all are doing here. This is actually anti-industry.
Well, I think that's part of being indie.
yeah,
Like,
actually,
bro, we went to every major distro that you can think of. We sat in the room with them, and all they told us was, yeah, go ahead and be successful, and then come back and we'll take 20%. That's what they told us. Mm-hmm. And you can ask them, I said, fuck that. Well, after one of these meetings, I ain't going, you know who I'm talking about too. After one of these meetings, I said, bro, we're not doing this no more. Like, we're gonna do it ourselves. Like, I'm not giving somebody 20% after I went and did all the work. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna do it. And again, that faith that he had in me, you know what I'm saying? Based off the faith that I had in him, that solidifies us a lot more, you know what I'm saying, in our mission, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we are kind of anti-industry in the fact of like, yo, we're not seeking to, like, don't get me wrong, if the right deal comes, we're gonna make the play, you know what I'm saying? But it's gotta be, we wanna come to the table as partners. We don't wanna come to the table asking for a handout. We tried that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna say who, I'm not gonna mention any names, but we were in a meeting with the head of the sync department and the head of artist relations. Play the album. The head of sync, he only cares about music. He doesn't care about the business part.
Right.
He goes, wow, you remind me of Prince. Like, so me, me, I'm not gonna let that go. I'm like, yo, you hear that? You hear that? You hear that? Okay, like, yo, did you hear that? Because like, it's Prince, right? Mm-hmm. The next question I got asked is, and it's not against the person, it's really what the state of the industry is. The next question goes, so what's your TikTok like? I said, TikTok? You think Prince cared about TikTok?
The conversation after,
bro. I'm just like, I'm mind blown at what's going on, in how, and I know he didn't mean, like, that's our guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't mean that in a salacious way.
Right,
at all.
He was checking the boxes.
Because it matters. It does matter. Right?
1,000%.
But when we left that meeting, I said, one, this next run, we're gonna work on your TikTok because we're not gonna have these damn discussions again. But two, bro, we got something special. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I will say this about Alex. He's not gonna be no TikTok artist. He's not. He's not going to do stuff because it's trending. He's not going to do stuff because he thinks being a little bit more famous on TikTok will help his career. You know
But he is a trend. So if you have like, is this my camera right here?
Yeah.
So like if you have a product and you really want people to know about your product, you need to talk to Alexander Mack.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, and for him, he's very adamant about that. Because don't get me wrong, there's been times I'm like, man, we got to figure out something like, let's like, but for him, it's always the art first. Like he doesn't, he cares, but it's like, that's not the forefront of what's moving him. You know what I'm saying? So for me, again, like I respect that, and it makes me respect him more because I'm like, that's what I want. We had that conversation. Like, so it's a little bit harder road for sure. But it's something that like we're braced for and we're ready to take on.
For sure. And I'll add to what you're saying too. Like, so before I met Will, I had kind of been on the, I had been to major labels before. I kind of knew what those conversations were like. I knew kind of like what to look out for. I had a father who was, in bands and on the road and part of the music industry in the 80s. So I kind of like knew like what to look out for and how certain things went, how certain conversations are gonna go if you don't have a certain type of leverage. I just, especially going to major labels, I knew like, you're not gonna own anything if you have not built yourself up to a certain space. You haven't built the leverage up, which that's in any business really.
Yeah, your equity's low.
Exactly. So, and that's been part of the process now, has been learning to think more of like a business instead of just an artist. And I think that's what's different from this time compared to when I kind of first got into this whole thing.
All right, so in the middle of creating this project,
Yes.
well, actually closer to the end,
Yeah.
you became a Grammy Award winner.
Crazy. I still can't believe it.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Wow.
You're a voting member
Yes.
of the Recording Academy now.
Insane.
And thank you for your letter of recommendation, bro.
By the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. STREET, Mike. Check. And you're good. So, how does that play with your head now? Like, not that you lacked confidence in your sound or in your music or in your craft.
Yeah.
But now that you know that you're a part of history,
Yes.
because that's going to be on the books way after you're gone.
For sure. Yeah.
Are you in the same space, or do you value yourself even more now?
I definitely value myself more. Like I said,
That's real.
I said before, I've been somebody who's super hard on myself. I value myself more, but I know that I try to keep in mind that there's more than just the Grammy too. I know, my art was my art before the Grammy. Just everything else has just been preparing me for that moment. And honestly, that moment came from just being prepared when I got the call and showing up, which is kind of like and doing my best.
See, a lot of people don't know that story.
Yeah.
Give them the quick version of that.
Yeah, so basically, I had known Skills.
Shout out Skills.
Shout out Skills, y'all. Shout out Skills. Legend. Found me on IG in 2019. I was in my parents' basement still. And I was like, and I knew who he was. He followed me. And I was like, oh, wow, yo, like that's dope. So when I finally moved here, I saw he was DJing out with Andrew Hypes. Shout out Hypes.
Shout out Hypes.
I came and I brought my wife and we just came and we just danced. And Skills, I went up to talk to him. He was like, yo, like you said that you were gonna come. I really appreciate you coming out. So, and we just got cool over time. We started sending music back and forth and stuff like that. And one day he calls me. It's literally when we were figuring out some stuff for the album last year. It was April of 2025. It's raining cats and dogs. Him and my boy Mark, who I went to college with, are at his house about to do a meeting. I told them, I'm like, yo, it's raining way too hard. I'm turning around and I'm gonna just do the meeting from like Google. While I'm walking back into my apartment, Skills texts me. He's like, yo, I'm working on an album. Would you want to be involved? And I was like, yeah. I can text him back so quick. I was like, yeah.
Right now? I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, like as soon as I got the text, I was like, yes.
Right now?
Yeah. It's like, are you doing it right now? I'll drive there. But nah, and then literally.
All right, bet.
You thought that was a quick with a toothpick.
Yeah, just a little one. Yeah. But then literally the next month, he was like, yo, I mean, I feel like it was just a few days before. He was like, yo, we're gonna be doing this at Space Bomb this day. Are you free? I was like, I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna make myself free.
Yeah.
So I got there. It's me, 6, 7 other producers. Me Keys, Gavin Keys, bass player, drummer, and a few other guys. And we just sat there. It was one big just jam session. Literally, like none of this music existed, had been written or anything before we got there. So it was just, and that's the thing about Skills. He knows who to put in a room, who's gonna work well together, and he's met these people all throughout different journeys, often in the same way, curation. And yeah, it was just going in there, being prepared, knowing how to work with other people. You know, sometimes following this person's idea and knowing where to fit in. And yeah, I walked out of that session, we did like 12, 13, 14 different like cuts of just jams. And I remember walking out of there thinking like, yo, that was crazy. You know, I remember hitting Will up and talking to my wife, calling her like in the car, I was like, yo, this session was crazy. Like, you know, and that's how it happened.
All right, so the album's gonna drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world's gonna be happy.
I think so.
We're already working on another project. I already know. That's what artists do.
Yeah, that's already been
like
kind of in the works.
Like
so.
2.
Yeah.
All right, so what is this? This is 2026.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are we looking like in 2030?
Ooh. Man, you go first.
I want to, so let me backtrack just a second. And was it 2025 when you lost your job?
Yeah, February 2025.
In 2025.
You can tell it pained him. He remembered the exact month of everything.
Oh, it was tough.
February
Even-
27th.
Even for me, it's
2025.
it even scared me a little bit. But like he didn't get another job. Like, you know what I'm saying? He really and I told him to. I said, you might want to just, even as a little part-time joint, like get some stability.
A greeter at a store or something.
Whatever, you know, he's in the tech industry. But I was like, just to keep you stable, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he said, nah, man, I got a little bit of savings. Like, I think we can do this. You know what I'm saying? So at the simplest level is like in 2030, I want to say he made the right decision. And I want to be part of the reason he made the right decision. You know what I'm saying? We're not chasing anything besides the fact that we want to be able to do this for a living. You know what I'm saying? Now, the other things that come with it, absolutely, we want it, but that's not what we're chasing. You know what I'm saying?
You'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it for sure. So I want to be able to look his parents in the face, be able to look his wife in the face, be able to look my wife in the face and say, yeah, this was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like at the base level of it all. And I want to grow from this point to that point and be the type of CEO, type of label that supports artists first, you know what I'm saying? And supports creativity first without losing ourselves and all of that, you know what I'm saying? So for me, those are, simply put, those are my goals.
Yeah. And me, just to piggyback off of that, I want to be, I want this story to inspire people because we're at a point where a lot of people are losing their jobs, right? I lost my job in February 2025. February 1st, I was winning a Grammy.
A year later, that's crazy.
Yeah, literally almost exactly a year later.
Did you take it to your old job?
Oh, so mad people from my old job follow me, you know what I'm saying?
Some of them showed up to a
Posted
service.
that joint on LinkedIn real quick, you know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, I'm approaching music now because it's what I do from a LinkedIn level now.
So did you change your status? Former laborer, current award winner.
Oh, my LinkedIn says Grammy-winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk your shit.
My LinkedIn says Grammy-winning.
Yeah.
But I want
The bio changed too. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
EPK
For sure.
was a little different. Grammy-winning Alexander Mack. Yeah.
But I want this to be a story inspiring people that, you know, just because something that you didn't see comes your way, you don't have to lay down and take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can take what you have at your disposal right now and really make something happen. You know, and that's what 2025 really meant to me. All the things that we were able to do in 2025 that will lead up to 2030 that have already set that stage. The relationships that we made in just that year alone. I just want to be able to show people, just in my career in general. I'm from a town of 3,000 people originally. That nothing can hold you back if you're actually crazy enough to believe that you can do all of these things. Because most people don't.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so one more question.
Okay.
Seeing how you both have the partnership, skin in the game,
Sure.
MSQ, what does it mean to you? We'll start with you.
So this partnership and really being able to put this together shows that it's a different time for artists and how you can take control of your career. You don't need to wait on anybody to believe in you. If you're not willing to take that chance on yourself, nobody's coming to save you. And that's first and foremost. Second, you need to be in this game. This is a crazy game. Nowhere in this conversation have we ever alluded to the fact that this is easy by any stretch of the imagination. You need to be in business with somebody that, number one, has your back. It's a rule for me for like a manager. I need to get to know you first. I need to have a certain relationship with you first so that you can understand what I need as a person first. Because my music is my life. Like, the two aren't really separate. My music is about my life. So, and if my life changes, the music changes too. So you need to be, and vice versa, manager to artist, you two need to be in a partnership together where you're both looking out for each other's best interests as well. It's a new way of working for artists now. Things aren't the same way where the manager can just do everything and the artist doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
Or the manager can just sit back while the artist just does what they does. And this is really showing that it's a new time for how artists and managers work together and just the creative industry in general.
Yeah.
So.
Young fella?
Proof of concept, man. Like, proof that like faith in ourselves worked, but also proof that like what we do delivers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's been the craziest part for me because when I was an artist, I was also very hard on myself and I didn't enjoy my wins. I never enjoyed my wins. I remember in particular, I did a show up in New York, sold out, 120 people there, had it rocking. Everybody screaming Kareem, right? I leave, I'm pissed. Why? It's not 1,000 people. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, I just never felt like that proof of concept, you know what I'm saying? And as his manager, as managers of others, as the music shop in general, I've been able to kind of build that proof of concept and, build faith, not just in the people I work with, but the people who watch me, and the people who support me from behind the scenes. And that's what it means to me. It's like, we really took a bet on ourselves. We really put in the sacrifice. We really put in the hard work, and it's become something. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many people out there in Richmond, like Noah O with Charged Up, or Black Lick, or Gritty City, and they got some beautiful proofs of concept, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Slapdash, or which is I think no Cool Points for Dying Now. Like there's just so many proof of concepts, and then too, man, equity. I have equity in something now. You know what I'm saying? I've been hurt by people I care about because I'm so dedicated to the passion portion of it that I forgot like how much I'm of value I actually am.
Yeah, you forgot the business.
And how I've helped people put real money in their pockets and been left out, you know, and not just artists, you know, business partners, other things.
Yeah.
And those things are important to me now, man. You know what I'm saying? And again,
You have 4 kids, man.
yeah, I do have 4 kids, but also, man, like I want a legacy of my own. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I want my legacy to be tied to Alex, but I also want there to be a legacy that Will or OG Illa, whatever you call me, is like there's something there.
You want your own page in the book.
Exactly. And for a long time, I didn't want to admit that because I didn't want to appear selfish or appear self-serving. But part of this is self-serving. You know, like part of this
Absolutely.
is part of this is like I want things too. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's going back to just a little bit to the foster care part. I was talking with John earlier, and I was just like, you know, there's so much stuff that meant a lot to me, like physical things that meant a lot to me. But when you're in foster care, the number one rule is pack light. You don't know when you're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm collecting things now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm having things that are for me. You know what I'm saying? And my wife has been big on that for me. And you know, when you have partners like him and our other partners that we haven't talked about yet, Pat, Mike, who believe in us tremendously, so much that they put money into this, so much that they put their time into this.
Whole community.
Yeah, like we wouldn't have any of this without them too. You know what I'm saying? So, but they want things for us too. You know what I'm saying? And they want us to like go out there with our head high and our chest out and claim what's ours. So for me, you know, those 2 things are really big for me right now, and what I think the music shop represents. Yeah.
Do you want me to do a cool ass ending right now?
Yeah, do a cool ass ending, man. Come on. Come on.
I was getting ready to. No, like, oh, okay. Who's editing this?
All of us.
Yeah.
Us. We. All right. Do you
That
want?
was a good ending.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a good ending.
Do
it's
you want?
profound.
It is profound.
No, one of those videos where you just go.
Susan slowly.
Now give us the.
No,
the,
do you want to end it with business?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's end because we've been talking like we got to that part. We've got the passion.
You got
part
all of
out.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Let's do it. The business. All right. So the release date again.
804.
August 4th.
804. The name of the project
You had to be there.
and the reason everybody needs to listen to it.
Because people don't make albums that just don't have any agenda and that are just a world that you can just escape into and just get lost in and really listen to for honestly forever if you want to. I really do consider this album timeless. 20 years from now, you'll be able to go back and listen to it and
Facts.
you'll think about where you were when you heard it. You'll think about the kickback when you were playing this one song. It's really a timestamp for everybody, not just me.
You bet on it?
I bet on it. I've put literally my livelihood on the line for last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And I'm willing to continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's refreshing. And I swear to God, I use that word a lot when I describe the album. I text me, I'm like, yo, you gotta hear this shit. It's so refreshing to hear a music where it's like there's nothing vulgar on it. There's no curse words on it. But it's so freaking fun and it's so good. You know what I'm saying? It really, like, not to oversell him, but like it really feels like James Brown. It really feels like Michael Jackson. You know, it feels like when music was made to make you feel good and get your hips moving. You know what I'm saying? A lot of trauma stored in your hips if you didn't know that. And it's something that like will expand your mind. You know what I'm saying? So those things are important, you know, and I think that, like he said, they're missing from music now. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
A lot of negative things that we talk about all the time. Oh, this is what our, this culture does and da da da. Well, that's not this. You know what I'm saying? And again, going back to changing consumer habits, this is the start for us of changing how people listen to music, how people can make music. You know what I'm saying? So those things are why people need to listen to it.
You happy with it?
I've been waiting to make this album my entire life. Yeah, for sure. I think that this is the first album where I feel like I got everything right that I wanted to.
One word to describe the album.
Electric.
Refreshing. I'm gonna go back to it. Refreshing, bro. It's like literally fun to listen to.
Now we're done.
MSQ means music.